It's like Judy and the house, and they're walking in, and you want to win them over before they...
I won't let them tour the house until I get that information.
Right.
I want to engage them with me. And if I have shadows or lenders there, I tell them, you do not talk. You do not say a word. You do not get up out of the chair. You wait until I get that information, and then I will turn them over to you.
You're driving the bus.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I will ask them some questions like, so are you looking online to find out where the houses are? Oh yeah, we go on Redfin or whatever.
Yeah.
I went, okay, but don't you have to like sign in every time? Or maybe would you like to have your own personal search from the MLS, which is where all the realtors go. It's called the Multiple Listing Service, and the Multiple Listing Service is the only place that realtors go to put their listings. Would you like to have that for free? And I can give it to you. All you have to do is give me your contact information, and I'll send it to you. Then I get through the categories of what they were looking for and all that, and they talk about that for a while, and then, oh, well, I'd like to look at the house. No problem. Here's my shadow. They'll take you around to the house. I don't care if they buy the house or not.
Right. You just want to gain their trust.
Yeah, and I'll tell them some important information, like, did you know that there's Melrose on this house? Did you know that this house is in an area where they have quite a few good schools? Did you know that it's near the freeway? And anything that I can say that'll show my expertise in the area. Because when I do open houses, I stay in my area. I don't go out of my area.
Why is that?
I know it.
I knew that was coming.
I know it very well. They tell me what street they live in, I know exactly where they're at.
Psychology, how important that is to gain their trust. That's so neat, Judy. I mean, I've always believed in it. Our first motto in the real estate, our real estate group, the RICO group back in the day, was real people before real estate. That was actually our motto, real people before real estate. Mm-hmm. And I think you and I see eye to eye in that.
Yeah, definitely. I like meeting people personally. I do better with that than the remote stuff. So, I mean, I think following up with them can be a challenge, because if you don't get to talk to them, you have to leave them a text, and you follow up, and like that. But when I can meet them personally, face to face, I have a lot better chance of working with them.
Let's switch gears here. Let's go into the educational part. You're also a fantastic educator with US Realty Training.
Thank you.
Our school. And we're so glad that you bring your expertise and your psychology into our world. When you have brand new students in front of you, I'm assuming, because I remember when I was teaching, a lot of them seem frazzled, unsure, skeptical. Should I be doing this? What's the first piece of advice you give them when you see somebody who's apprehensive of, like, maybe I shouldn't pursue this?
Well, we have that introductory course that you've set up so well. So I have like at least 15 to 20 minutes to talk to them before the other students come in.
Right.
And I will talk to them in a personal way. Tell me about, your journey. What do you do now for a living? What brings you to real estate? What are you looking to accomplish in real estate? So each person has a chance to talk. And I get to know who they are. I have a sign-up sheet too, so they have to sign in their name every time they come in. And that makes them feel like they are somebody, not just a body coming into the classroom.
Right.
So I do that on purpose. Plus, I get to know a little bit more about where they're at. There are a lot of people that don't speak well, so I make them read out loud.
Oh. Good tactic.
I do. I go around the room. I don't want to read the whole thing. They're reading the whole thing. Yeah. And sometimes they say, no, I won't, and that's okay.
Sure.
But even the ones that have really bad English, it's so good for them. Because they're going to have to use their words. They're going to have to understand the words. So then I'll ask certain words, did you understand what that means? Let me just explain that to you if you're not sure, And so I'll explain the words that they stumble on.
What's your personal approach when it comes to mentoring? Have you mentored before? I think you have, right?
Yeah.
What makes you a great mentor?
Well, once again, it's listening to people.
Okay.
It's listening to where they're at. And there's some people that are that want certain things. Some people just want to talk, and some people they are stumped on certain areas of, say, real estate. So it's about finding out where they're at.
What if I doubt myself? Let's assume I walk into your office, Judy, and I'm a new agent, and I'm just like, Judy, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Judy, I mean, I tried, and I don't know where I'm going to get my first client. I'm really shy. I need somebody to believe in me. What are you going to tell me?
I'm going to tell you that that's important, that you want to have somebody to believe in you. What we need to develop is your believing in yourself.
Wow.
The believing in yourself is what's going to see you through. And get support from other people, but don't get support from people who put you down, because they won't.
Right. So how do you get, how do you make me feel like $1 million? What does Judy say to me to make me feel like $1 million? I say, yeah, you know what?
I can't make you anything. I can only guide you as to how to get there, and you're going to make it. You're going to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. How important are these mentees to you?
Very important, because their success is related to me. I feel like I am successful if I can bring them to the next step.
What's probably the most negative mindset that holds a student back, right?
Self-belief.
Really? That's what you see in your class? A lot of people who self-doubt themselves.
You can't know for sure, but you can see by the way they act. If they show up to class, they're still believing. If they don't show up, if they don't do their quizzes, if they're not supporting themselves, sometimes they say that they have this problem and that problem and that problem. If they come late a lot, things like that show me that they're not completely committed to what they want, what they say they want to achieve.
Wow. How do they find a comfortable brokerage to work for? I mean, you and I both know there's a lot of brokerages out there. I mean, how did you find your brokerage? And you said, this is where I want to be.
I didn't know any better.
No? Well, in a sense, what we're doing when we go pick a brokerage is, I mean, mind you, you're going to spend a lot of hours there. So what's important to look for in a broker?
I didn't know about that one.
No? Well, you picked the first one out of the phone book?
Not at all. No, it was because the guy who sold us our house, he was in the brokerage, and I would be under
I see.
his, like what?
Yeah, I got you.
The sponsor. He was a sponsor for me.
Got it.
So he, that was just like, okay, that's where we go next,
Right. And you haven't left since.
Well, no.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I got you. But what kind of advice would Judy tell somebody?
Well, that's a good question, because I do bring that up with them. I say, look, there's all kinds of brokerages. It depends what fits you. Do you want to have something that you have an office in? Do you want to have something that you can walk to every day? Or do you want to have something that is a small brokerage, a big brokerage? Those are all questions you need to ask yourself. And I would suggest you trying out a couple of different places. And some people are good to work on their own, but some people need a lot of help. In Keller Williams, we have a lot of support. We have coaches, and we have all sorts of things that we can teach you that are actually free within the brokerage. So those are the things that are advantage for new realtors. But you may decide that you want to be in a much smaller surroundings, not so many people. Or you might want to be somewhere that's closer to where you live. So these are all decisions you're going to have to make.
Yeah, I realized also that to make a confident decision, because this decision that they're going to be making has to be confident. I want to be with that brokerage because they make me feel good, right? They offer all these things.
That's a good point, yeah.
What gives Judy confidence?
In the brokerage?
In general.
In general? Well, let's see. That's kind of a hard question.
Is it?
There, yeah.
I mean,
what gives me confidence is, of course, winning.
All right. That sure definitely pushes you over the finish line. Yeah. I like winning. But what makes you feel like, yeah, I got this. I could do this, right?
Well, that's my general state of mind anyway.
Is it?
Generally,
But I mean,
it doesn't work all the time. But
preparation make somebody
Yes, okay.
Did you know that only 28% of the people who watch this video are subscribed to US Realty Training on YouTube? Do me a big favor. Do me a huge favor and hit the doggone it subscribe button below to become a subscriber. Doing so helps me make more great videos like this. It will definitely help us. I'll see you on the next one.